Good day, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever time it is in your part of the world where you stay. This is King B with another video. You see the title on the screen, so we're going to talk a little food, snacks, desserts as well in this video, right? So, no, drumsticks aren't actually made with real ice cream. How many of you know that? Knew that, rather. How many of you knew that drumsticks is not real ice cream? In fact, if you look at most desserts, frozen desserts in the stores where you shop, you're gonna notice a lot of them do in fact say frozen dessert. Frozen dessert is not ice cream. There's a difference between ice cream and frozen dessert. Pardon me while I sip on some coffee. All right, well, let's get into this article a little and see what they're talking about. You can't go down a frozen aisle or visit an ice cream truck without finding a drumstick. Invented in 1928, drumsticks were meant to replicate the vanilla ice cream topped sugar cones that were popular at county fairs but sold prepackaged. Nestle, which partnered with Drumstick in 1991, claims that the accidental origin of drumsticks happened when founder I.C. Parker dropped his ice cream cone in a vat of chocolate, fished it out, and placed it on a countertop coated in peanuts. The story is disputed. In reality, the inventors of the drumstick had some difficulty getting the prepackaged vanilla cones to hold up and not melt immediately. So, with the help of some food scientists, the company decided to add the hard-shell chocolate coating that is now a key part of the iconic drumstick experience, as well as a sprinkling of peanuts. With these additions, folks could enjoy ice cream cones anywhere without a fresh scoop of vanilla on hand, sort of. Despite their inspiration being obviously ice cream, drumsticks aren't actually ice cream themselves. But there's milk, and it's icy cold, isn't it? Though drumsticks started out as a variation on good old-fashioned ice cream, they are actually defined as a frozen dessert. According to the USDA, real ice cream has to contain at least 10% milk fat, and drumsticks don't meet this qualification. To be sure, drumsticks contain some dairy such as milk and cream and dairy products sold, but not enough to make them ice cream. So in order to be considered ice cream, according to the USDA, has to contain at least 10% milk fat, at least. All right? But a product can contain 10% milk fat and be considered ice cream, but have other ingredients in it still at the same time. So for those of you, basically, if you want to put it simply, if you want ice cream, real ice cream, you got to go look for a product. Make sure you read the ingredients, and make sure it just has milk cream, 100%. I don't eat dairy anymore, but when I was eating dairy, I always liked to I would get Breyers, because Breyers was always just milk, 100% cream, didn't have all that other stuff in it, all those ingredients that is you can barely pronounce. What are they actually made out of? Let's find out. These creamy frozen desserts may not be made up entirely of milk and cream, but drumsticks sure seem to taste like ice cream, right? But much of the flavor, texture, consistency, and fat comes from non-dairy sources. Drumsticks are made up of coconut, palm, and soybean oil, which is probably why you don't notice the lack of dairy-sourced fat, and why it's so hard to believe drumsticks aren't actually ice cream. If you're evaluating which frozen desserts you should or shouldn't buy, starting with the ingredients is always a good first step. And that's something when shopping that I have gotten the habit of doing, looking at the ingredients, reading the ingredients, seeing what exactly is in the food I'm buying, especially prepackaged foods. You know, reading those ingredients is key. And have you noticed, if for those of you who like me, you read the labels, the ingredients, have you noticed that soybean is they put in almost everything in the store have soybean in it? You know, even in products that you wouldn't even think would have soybean or soybean oil, there's soybeans in it. You know, I mean, is this weird? Why? And the question is, why? And if you look into the science of it, of soy, you know, short for soybean, you know, it does something, especially when it comes to men, right? You know, you got to be careful with what you eat. They put in soy in everything, and that's not by accident. That's for a reason. You got to get into the science and look at the science of it. Dessert companies frequently choose to use other fat sources for their products for a variety of reasons. Sourcing dairy can be expensive and comes with strict regulations, so plant-based oils are often much easier to use. Plant-based oils also reduce the fat percentage and thereby caloric content, which can make them more appealing to dieters and seen as a healthy alternative to real ice cream. You'll also note that the use of these lower fat oils can also cause the ice cream to freeze harder than traditional ice cream, which means that drumsticks can better hold their shape without melting, an earlier issue for the frozen treat. You know, just because something is plant-based does not mean it's healthy, especially for you vegans out there. Just because something is plant-based, doesn't have any meat or any proteins from animals, does not mean it's healthier. You know, some of these so-called vegan foods are not healthy at all. You know, it may even be worse than actually eating the real thing. You know, so that's not you may look at somebody and who's vegan and they can be overweight or not healthy or even have health issues. Just because something is vegan doesn't mean it's healthier for you. That's a misconception. You know, and there's a difference between vegan and plant-based. You know, there's differences. You gotta. They trick you with how they word the wording they use on these products and on these food, on these labels. They trick you into thinking something is healthier for you. It's all marketing, you know, as well as science. And they trick you, and you read these labels, and you automatically think, okay, well, this is healthier. Well, it says it's plant-based. A lot of these plant-based foods, vegan, so-called vegan, plant-based foods, are still, if you look at on the label, you're going to see it's going to say bioengineered in the lab. You know, it'll say bioengineered food or bioengineered process. It used to say GMO. So on these labels, it does not say GMO anymore. It says bioengineered. Same thing. It's the same thing. You know. So for you vegans out there, when you're shopping, or those of you who you want to get healthier and you're not ready to go full fruits and vegetable, raw fruit, vegetable way of eating, and you still wanna eat foods that you used to eating just without the meat and stuff. You wanna break yourself in slowly with that. Make sure the product says on the label you see vegan, because again, some of these products that says plant-based, it's not vegan. There's some products that say plant-based and still have some type of meat in it, or animal protein. Like you see some products that say plant-based, and you think because it says plant-based, and so you just pick it up and buy and purchase it without reading the ingredients. If you read the ingredients in the back, some of these plant-based products use eggs or egg whites or milk or powdered milk. So you got to be real careful with that. Because I've caught some products that was already purchased, and I go to cook something and something told me, look at the ingredients, because sometimes you slip, or someone else in your household go to the store and make some purchases or whatever have you, and they forget to check the ingredients, and I look at the label. Okay, it says plant-based, and I turn it over and check the back and look at the ingredients, and I see milk, powdered milk, egg whites. So then I don't eat it. So you got to be real careful. Just because it says plant-based on the front of the package does not. Plant-based and vegan is two separate categories. So if you want to go vegan, make sure the products you buy says vegan on the package, and still read the ingredients and make sure you check what's in it. Because again, a lot of these vegan products are not healthy. For example, some of these vegan cheeses. You ever look at the ingredients of some of these vegan cheeses? And if there's plenty of videos on YouTube, Instagram, there's plenty of videos out there where people are making vegan cheese at home using real ingredients that you can pronounce, a couple of 2-3 ingredients, and it's real simple and real easy to do. It's not difficult at all. You can make it at home yourself. But when you go to the store and you don't want to make it yourself and you just want to go to the store, pick it up, buy it, whatever, you're taking a risk. Because again, just because something doesn't have any animal proteins in it, don't mean it's a healthier option. Sometimes just getting the real thing, some real cheese or some real, may even be better than some of these other so-called plant-based or vegan alternatives. But do the research and again, look at the ingredients. If you're interested, you want to learn how to make something at home yourself, there are plenty of videos out there. Just, whatever you want to make, just punch it in and search it, and plenty of videos will pop up. Are frozen desserts worse for you than ice cream? There's plenty of fear-mongering out there about what foods to avoid, particularly if they don't qualify as what we consider the most authentic, classic version of something. The knee-jerk reaction to hearing that drumsticks aren't ice cream, despite looking and tasting like it, might be that it's some nasty byproduct, but this isn't reasonable or true. Plant-based fats might not make these frozen desserts true ice cream, but that's because the USDA's definition is fairly arbitrary and meant to regulate dairy products. Frozen dessert isn't code for anything nefarious. Vegan ice creams, as well as frozen yogurt, which are yogurt rather than cream-based, also wear the label of frozen dessert simply because they don't contain any milk fats. And we've even ranked popular dairy-free ice creams worst to best. So no, despite its classification as a frozen dessert, there's nothing inherently bad about enjoying drumsticks. In fact, the reduced animal fat content typically makes for a dessert lower in cholesterol as well as saturated fat. So some folks may benefit from these substitutions. As with any dessert, all things in moderation is the key. You see, you got to be when you read these articles like this one. You know, they're gonna put truth in it, and then they're gonna mix the truth with some bull. You know. And this last paragraph I just read is just a example of what I just said. It really is. Oh, there's nothing nefarious about it. You know, fear mongering. You know, when you do your research and look up soy, you'll understand better of what I'm talking about. Soy is not a healthier alternative. You know, I mean, I myself, you know, sometimes I want. You know, I want a dessert. You know, I want a snack. I want some dessert, and I want something frozen. You know, but I stay away from soy. You know, as much as I possibly can, because again, soy is in almost everything. When you look in the store and you read the ingredients, even in products that you wouldn't even think would have soy in it. But when it comes to vegan ice cream, I make sure I look for a product that says vegan on the label. You know, almond frozen dessert made with almond milk, or they got frozen dessert made with coconut milk as well. I do my best to stay away from soy, because soy is not a healthier alternative. It's not, especially when you look into it and you do your research on soy. But you really got to be careful. I mean, again, anytime you walk into the store and you buy something quick and fast, meaning that you don't want to make it from scratch at home yourself, you're taking a big risk and a big chance. And we really have to get back into getting into agriculture, growing our own foods, making our foods at home from scratch, using real ingredients. We have to get back to that, because there is a shift that is taking place right now. Right? You should want to limit going to the stores and buying these prepackaged foods as much as you can. Limit that. You know. We have to get back to growing our own foods. And again, I've spoke about this in some of my previous videos. For those of you who don't have the space, you live in an apartment, they got grow bags. You can look up grow bags, which I believe are inexpensive. They're not real expensive. You can get some 10-gallon buckets, and you get you some soil, and you get you some seeds, and you can grow your own foods right there in your apartments in grow bags or in 10-gallon buckets. It's possible. It's doable. It's not impossible. I read an article the other day about Costco. A customer bought one of their rotisserie chickens and cut into it, and the meat was green. Now, according to the article, it's something with the muscle. They put it. They explain how something about not enough blood or oxygen getting to the muscle, the breast muscle. Something about when the chickens are flapping their wings too much or whatever have you. It really sounded unbelievable when I read it, but it causes the meat inside the breast to turn green. But again, like I said, they'll tell you some truth, and then they'll mix bull in these articles along with the truth. You got to be careful. You got to know how to. When it comes to reading these articles, you got to know how to separate the weeds from the grass. Right? You gotta have some discernment. Right? Oh, but so they said, oh well, it's safe to eat. The chicken is still safe to eat. I don't know about you, but if I bought some cooked chicken and I cut into it and it's green, I'm not eating it. In fact, I'm either going to throw it away or I'm going to take it back to the store and get my money back. I want a refund. You know. But yeah, I mean, it's just we have to get back to growing our own foods. You know, maybe we've been spoiled. Some say we've been spoiled because we just get up, leave the house, go to the store, buy our food, come home. But that's caused a problem now because not too many people know how to grow their own food. But we have to get back into that. But the information is out there. But that's all I have for you today. This is King B. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to my subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. Truly, I do. And for those of you who you're not subscribed, but you clicked and watched the video, I thank you as well. But please do subscribe. Hit the notification bell, click all, so you'll be notified every time I drop a video. And hit the like button. It don't cost you nothing. Hit the like button. Help get these videos out here. I'm putting real information out here that I'm sharing with all of you. So hit the like button. It don't cost you a thing. And love yourself. Keep your loved ones close. Communicate. Talk about your plans, plural. You should have multiple plans. Go over your plans together as a group. So no matter what happens, you're prepared and know exactly, each and every one of you in your group would know exactly what to do, what you're supposed to do in whatever situation that you may face. All right? Watch each other's backs. Keep yourself safe at all times. All right? The danger is real. And always protect the children. Protect the babies. Children are under attack. Every day there's multiple stories about a child being assaulted in various ways, even in be it at home, in neighborhoods, at schools, right? At schools as well. So please watch your children, keep your children safe, protect the babies. All right? Shout out to all the women out there. All the natural born women out there. Women are under attack as well. Right? That's a fact. So shout out to all the natural born women out there. Love to each and every one of you. But that's all I have. I'm out.